everybody to our life energy update for energetically sensitives and empaths for the week 44. That is the 27th of October till the 2nd of November. Welcome back, everybody. It's so good to see you. I know we are live. Hope you guys are doing all right. I posted an energy alert yesterday, so if you are signed up for my email list, you should have received this, warning you a little bit that there's a lot of aggravation, that there's a lot of sort of emotional repression in the air, okay? And don't let this bother you too much, okay? I suggested yesterday that you channel this, okay? So you have to find a healthy expression for your emotions, and the best way to channel this is, or right now, this week, this current week, is to find something that adds beauty to life, something creative, something, that may seem inefficient at the time because you're busy, you have to do a lot of stuff, and, meditating for 10 or 20 minutes or getting a bouquet of flowers to put on your table, or to bake a cake, or whatever creativeness you can come up with, actually ends up more effective, more efficient than you first think. So the big deal here is, of course, as always, with our ego. But let's have a look at the forecast here, what these collective energies that are affecting us energetically sensitives bringing in here for next week. And just as a reminder, where do I get this data from? So every week here at transCODES, almost every day, we have public energy sessions, we have energy coaching sessions with people who are energetically sensitive, and through working with hundreds of people here every week, I get a really good overview. And then, of course, right before this energy update, I go into this place and to come up with really detailed energy tips, which are available to my Patreon subscribers and all the heart warriors, which are the people that work with me directly every day. Here in this overview, we want to look at the general tendency, and you see the barometer here to your left, and this gives us a little bit of just a feeling, okay? It's of course not a precise science. It's very difficult to put something complex into a 2D drawing, okay? But just so you know, in the past, this has actually been really accurate, and for the most part, even if energies don't play out this way, so like this coming week is extremely complex, and it will play out really nice for some people, okay? And I know this, and this is not a matter of being good or bad. This is a matter of alignment. This is a matter of like where I'm at on my journey, okay? And so it's a really strong boost of energy that comes in here, and this can feel really, really good and really empowering. And those who have been working on, accepting change and, reviewing and reevaluating, okay, for you guys, this is a really, really cool week. But understand that most of the people around you, okay, are a bit aggravated, and that they are dealing with something that I could only call like a pressure cooker inside. All right, so no matter where you are at, the outer energies are challenging, and this is what you're seeing here in the barometer. It's all the way on red. That's tricky, okay? It's tricky because there is a lot of aggravation with this. There is a lot of sort of escalation with it, and mostly, we will see this in the news here, which is probably the best energy tip that I can give you for this week, is to not get wrapped up too much in news. Okay, but I need a few hearts here, okay, to get me going. That's my fuel. So push the like button or the heart button, if you feel that this is, really coming in at the right time. Okay, and make those hearts, fly across my screen. This is actually the beautiful part here about streaming this live with you on Facebook. And I'm seeing all your hearts. Wonderful. Okay, let me know what country you're from. This is sometimes important to ask you, to answer your question. But it's also good for all of us to know that we have, this international audience. Another thing here at the end of the energy update, in about 10 minutes, we're going to have a giveaway. So brace yourself. This will be very interesting for those of you who do not have that much experience with energy work yet, or who are curious, who want to find out and experience this for themselves. Okay, I have a really, really cool giveaway this week. Last week's giveaway was a Patreon membership for the $10 subscription, where you get 10% off all transCODES products and so forth. And we had some technical difficulties with it, but the 5 winners from last week received all their benefits. All right, guys, so what are we looking at here for this next week? Okay, so first of all, you got to understand that, and I guess we all know this already, there was a lot of change in the air. There was a lot of this transformation, okay, that all these spiritual people, including myself, have been talking about for decades, okay? This is going on. This is life right now, okay? It's already happening. Things have changed already, and you can see this everywhere. We are just like in this somewhat theatrical phase of old power structures, still hanging on to old things that are long outdated. Okay, the same applies for us personally as far as our ego is concerned. Remember, I talk a lot about the ego and the function of the ego and why it's so important for us to know our ego. All right, and what does the ego do? The ego wants to feel familiar. It wants to feel in control, and it will go to length, all right, justifying, insisting, getting into fights, internal and external, to maintain its position. This is the main function of your ego. You got to understand it for what it is. And in that, it is also the part in you that is holding you back. It's holding you back from growing. It's holding you back from healing. It's holding you back from moving forward. And in most of you guys' cases, also from success. All right, and you've got to understand that this is sort of the sign of times right now, is that these forces of control that we talked about last week, they're trying to hold back, okay, this improvement, okay, this enhancement that is coming in here for us all. And it's maybe difficult to see this, especially if we are in the midst of our ego struggle, that there are improvements coming, that this is all there for us to really rock up, okay? And I talked about this in the forecast for October, guys. This whole month of October was a month to show us truth and to show us where we're holding on to our ego pattern. And yes, it sucks. And physically it sucked too. And yes, this is the part here as an energetically sensitive where we can easily feel victimized or, like cursed or whatever. So really understand that this is your talent. This is the talent that is going to pay your bills in the future. You've got to understand this as an empath. Just because you're not really that good in dealing with all that comes with being an empath, which can be learned, okay? This is what I do here. This is my bread and butter. This is what transCODES does for people. Teaching them how to manage, how to channel, how to work with your energies, and even how to tap into your future, how to tap into your inner guidance. But even if this is not yet, in the foreground for you, let's just look at this whole constellation here for this next week. We have these transformation energies, we have change, and we have a massive energy that is going against it, which is a conflict, which is a contradiction. And the only way really to get past this, okay, without getting tangled up in quarrels, in fights with others or internal quarrels, is to unify, to unify your past, your present, and your future. Yes, and you may think, okay, how can I look in the future? These are things that have a lot to do with you being able to shed your past. But most importantly, and this is what I observe with most people, empaths in particular, we are not actually able to be fully present. We're always thinking of the future, the to-do list that you have in your head, or what must I do, or I need to do this, or I still have to do this. Okay, this critical inner voice constantly churning in your head, which pulls your energy into the future. It pulls it forward. Okay, I can see this in people in their posture. Their entire posture is leaning forward. And then the other half of us, is constantly leaning backward, leaning into the past, ruminating about, all the bad stuff that happened to us in the past, the pain that we have in the past. And so most people are not able to see into the future because they're not in the present, because they're either living in the pain of the past or in the fear of the future. And this is really what this headline here for the energy update this week means: coming full circle. You've got to put yourself in the center of your circle, and you've got to understand that this is the only place, it's like the eye of the hurricane, as I called it a few weeks ago. It's the only place where you can actually make changes. Okay? So understand that there is a quantum leap of transformation happening right now, and this week will be the week where we will all, even those who are not interested in the energetic or spiritual view of things, will have to realize this. Okay? And there'll be a big surprise element here in this next week, so expect the media going on full turbo. Okay? There are things such as, accidents and catastrophes on a larger scale. And there is also the problem with what our borders are, what our boundaries are. And this will bring up this discussion. People will be afraid of war, okay? And people will be afraid of things collapsing, such as stock markets and so forth. And this is all valid because the energy is right there, right now, okay? And this could happen. But the main thing is not what is going to happen, because this is not in your control. The global scale is not in your control. All you can control is how you handle, how you deal with the stuff that is happening, okay? And so this week you will feel a lot of sort of internal dialogue about freedom and safety and your own boundaries. And the codependence amongst us energetically sensitives, which is an extraordinarily high number, just so you know, we will have to really go into working with these patterns that we've been working on the last week, okay? How this is how our critical inner voice is related with our early childhood experiences, with the caretakers, with the early caretakers, with our approach, with our abundance blocks, our values and our beliefs, our mindsets. You're really gonna have to work with your mindsets this week, because a lot of what you call knowledge, okay, really has no value when things shift, okay? Wisdom does, knowingness does, but knowledge doesn't. The only kind of knowledge that can help is to look into history. Let history be the teacher. That would be my recommendation for you. Okay? So there's a deep revelation of these inner blind spots here in store for all of us on our individual level and on the global level. And what this means is that we're going to have to find the right balance. The right balance between our individuation, we're seeing ourselves separate from others. We're seeing ourselves, as a true self, that wants to express. But we're also part of the collective, guys. No matter how much you resent the fact that, the humanity, It all belongs together, and on a spiritual level, it all belongs to the divine. We are all parts of the divine, and ultimately, we carry this higher power, this divine power in us. And for this week here, you're really gonna have to contemplate about your inner relationship with spirit, God, source, the divine, whatever you want to call this. This is about it being accountable. This is about knowing what your alignment is and understanding that the results that you are seeing in the manifestation of your life have to do with your alignment. Okay, so if you want to change the results, you need to change your attitude towards yourself and towards higher power. Or do you make ego your higher power? Or do you make your partner or your work or your money or, whatever, your status quo your higher power? Then you're screwed. Okay? So tune into your inner creativity. Allow your inner knowing and your inner connection to tell you how or what you need to do to mature, to grow, to move forward, and let go of the things that are not worthwhile keeping. And this includes mindsets and beliefs. Okay, so this is my roundup here for this next week, and I want you guys to ask questions. Use this opportunity here to ask me live, okay, what I would recommend you in your situation. And while you are thinking about, or like scraping all your courage together to post here, let me announce the giveaway for this week's energy update. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up the picture. I'm gonna give away five tickets, guys, for the current energy training intensive that is starting tonight. So you're gonna have to have time for this, okay? Called Coming Full Circle, where we are practicing this. How to tune in, how to clear our energy, how to remove the clouds of our inner wisdom and our inner knowingness. Okay, 5 tickets, and the sessions are tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern US time, and tomorrow night from 9 till 11. And you're going to get MP3s on me. I'm going to be there remotely watching your personal energy during these sessions, and you're going to get MP3s that you can practice with later. That those are hands-on, top-notch energy work techniques that you're going to be taught. And I'm giving away 5 tickets. All right. So how are you guys dealing with the energies right now? Would you like to know how to counteract some of the, your energetic sensations? What is on your heart, guys? Let me know so I can respond to it. Many of you are probably going to go through issues with relationships. Guys, next week is a really, really, really good week to meet other people. Next week is also a really, really good week to, to excel in your creativity. And those of you who are interested in, sort of what are good movies, what are good books, what are good songs for this, the Crypto Calibration Group, this is the group here at transCODES that helps to calibrate the consciousness level of crypto companies, has also started calibrating movies and songs and so forth. And for those of you at the Patreon channel, subscribe, Patreons of you, you're going to receive those calibrations for movies and books and songs. Yeah, well, dealing with those energies here is I mean, I feel like I sound like a broken record because I keep on repeating the same things. Okay, so most importantly, you're gonna have to watch your central nervous system here this week. Okay, you're gonna be triggered big time on all levels. So the overall tip is, how can I calm down myself? Good food, good sleep, lots of water, guys, and stay away from the media rah-rah. Okay, I've just recorded a half-hour energy tips for this next week for the Patreon subscribers. I have to separate the info a little bit, guys. So unless you ask specific questions, I cannot give you the overview here live. The only other comment that I want to make, as far as like dealing with it, you're going to be asked to really look at your relationship with your inner power, and whether it's your ego or your externalization. So in how far you externalize your inner power here next week, okay? And those of you who want to do energy work, this is a great time for etheric reconciliation and really starting this kind of work, okay? I'm gonna have to get ready now, guys. Thank you so much for your hearts. Thank you for coming. I'm wishing you guys a good week. If you really want more info and energy tips, and you think this is worthwhile, then subscribe to the Patreon channel, okay, for $5 a month. You're gonna get blog articles that I don't publish anywhere. You're gonna get the energy tips and more. All right, guys, hope you have a good week. Thank you so much for coming. Bye bye.